It's a miserable day. It's wet and horrible, and I might stay in a hostel night. But yeah, South Australia. I think I've probably been in there before. Who knows? But not this way. So that's one milestone. Next one will be obviously WA in quite some time, I think. Well, it's raining, but it's not very hard. It's just like lightly spitting. So I'm not letting it stop me. I'm still coming to see things. Massive sinkhole. It's relatively in the middle of town. There's another one that's a bit more central, which is what I'm going to go to next. Pretty cool though, I like it. I'm going to walk back to the bike and go to the next one. Okay, let's just do a little update. So, is that bird surfing? What's he stood on? There was on a little surfboard there, just down there. Anyway, so it's birds and some lakes, and I'm in Mount Gambier. There's some pretty good sinkholes in and around town, which I've been to see. Yesterday was really nice, 25 degrees, running up and down the Great Ocean Road. Well, not up and down, but just one way. Pulling into all the little stops. It was really nice. So I pulled up at a campsite. About 4 o'clock-ish. It was quite a nice little campsite. I had plenty of signal, so I was able to call my mum and a few friends, get some Netflix episodes in, because you know, struggle when you go camping and you get 10 gig of data from Optus for Netflix only, so you're like, well, it's rude not to use it. I'm still a little bit, not 100%. I'm still having a few Lemsip, or a Lemsip in the morning and in the evening, just to help my sore throat, give me a bit of kick into life. I'm going to slow down and catch that, it's pretty cool. So I had a lazy morning this morning, waited till the tent was dry and chilled out. I didn't leave till about 10:30, 11. Went to a lighthouse, it was very nice, a bit windy, but it was fine. So yeah, I'm going to head to a campsite now. It's about 130 kilometres away. I'm just not feeling it today. It's just gloomy. Let's say it's not really wet, but it's enough to put it down on your day. Doesn't fill me with excitement and make me want to go and walking around and seeing things. But the days change so quickly. I say yesterday was 25, today's like 16. It's a temperature drop of 9-10 degrees in 24 hours, and I guarantee tomorrow picks up. And it's not like I'm really moving that far. I mean, it's taken me, so I left Monday, it's possibly now Wednesday. Yeah, it must be Wednesday now. And I'm only at Mount Gambier, which, if you really want to, you could probably do in a day if you just didn't take the Great Ocean Road and just got there. Quite easily do in a day, actually, probably. Well, I've got about 58 kilometres left until I get to the campsite, and the rain hasn't let up at all. If anything, it's just carried on. So this is Kingston. Is a large lobster. It's very large. And it's raining again. Because Australia is known for its rain and cloudy days. That's what everyone thinks when they think of Australia. So now I'm heading to Adelaide. And I'm just going to stay there for 2 nights, I think, and see what's occurring there. See what's going on, have a little look around. I don't think there's going to be much, but it'll give me a chance to kind of maybe do a bit of washing or have a shower for one, because it'll be Thursday morning, so my last shower was Monday. But baby wipes to the rescue again. So I don't smell, I don't feel too bad. I've got water in my visor and I can't get it off. So here we are now. This is it, really. I had a few little dirt roads, but nothing special. I didn't even drop, nothing I had to drop the tyre pressures for or anything like that. It was just a very hard, half back. Do you know about that when they hit you? Hard packed road. Yeah, so I think I don't know how long I've got before I get to Adelaide, a couple of 100 k's probably. I'm not really interested, I'm just going to get there. Have I booked a hostel? No, I'm just going to turn up, hope for the best. That's how I'm planning this trip really, pretty much just rocking up. The only things I might book is the shark dive when I know that I'm close. I'm going to be doing a shark dive in Port Adelaide. I want to go see some great whites. If you've done bungee jumping and you've done skydiving, that's the next big thing to do, I reckon. And if you've done those 3 things, you've done the 3 sort of touristy, scary things, I suppose, to do. Everything else, every extreme thing after that is a bit maybe average, but I don't know. I've not done the others, but I would like to. Anyway, it's just going to be a lot of straight roads, I reckon, and the odd memorial thing that you can't see. So that's it. The question is, am I going too slow for the car behind me? Will he overtake? We might not know for several kilometres. Look at him there. Can you see him in the middle? Yeah, who knows? I think this camera's pointing far too upright as well. Let's bring you down a bit. There we go. That might be better. Now I've corrected it, now I'm turning off. Alright, watch out for roos! Down this sort of like dirt road. In Karoon National Park, something like that. Karong National Park. But it's between some lakes. Oh, there's a road behind me and then there's a sea dead in front of me by the looks of it. Well, so that way is the sea. But I thought I'd just pull off rather than sit on tarmac and cruise down here. It was a bit quieter and a bit more interesting, a bit slower, obviously. Well, it doesn't have to be, but you're supposed to go slower than I am now, which is slower than I would be on the road. I'm ambling along on the road, most things have overtaken me. You know, because I'm only doing kind of like 100, and it's 110, about 60 miles an hour. Still not very warm, although it's clearing up, so that's nice. See some bumps in the road, just open the throttle and skim over the top of them. But this road just sort of loops around. I think it probably goes for a good few k's. Comes out by Salt Creek, I think it is. Yeah, still wanting normal road presses. I haven't bothered to turn them down. I could, but I haven't bothered. Seems to be alright. A little shakedown, see how everything fares. But I don't. I mean, I've ridden a couple of roads before in New Zealand, so this is just sort of a bit more hard packed, a bit more bumpy. Too difficult. Flies down. Yeah, so it's not a lot of views, but it's a bit more interesting for me to ride through here than it is camping grounds are closed. A bit more interesting than riding on the road. So that's all I'm doing. Alright, I'm going to look back to some music. I'll inform you if anything interesting happens. Well, that was a fun bit of road, probably about, I don't know, 20k maybe, not that long really. And then you literally just come to a T-junction and then join straight back onto this. There's a little bit of a detour, let the cars that I was following go up in front, so that gives me a nice clear road. I can't tell you, there's 2 things I've done to this bike for this trip. I think I may have had it on New Zealand, I can't remember. But this, which enables me to let go of my hand, I think I'm pretty more sure I did have it in New Zealand actually. But for outback or Australia, where it's like big straight roads, you just want to keep a nice constant speed, it's perfect. So say I can let go of the handlebars and it can just sit there. The other things are my foot mounts. I'll see if I can slide over. We're going to play with this camera angle. We get down there, and you see the little silver thing. Leg, done, beautiful. That's amazing. I can't tell you how amazing that is. When you're tired or when your legs are achy, you can just sling your feet forward and be in this sort of cruiser position. There's not a lot happening. It's 11. I realised yesterday I went through the date line. When I pulled up to the campsite, I thought I'd finally adjust my clock on my dash. My phone was half an hour earlier, so these were all showing something like 5 to 5 or something, and this was like 25 past 4. So I've gained half an hour a day, which is nice. I think I've got something like, when I first checked a while back, I had something like 240 k's to Adelaide. I've probably got the best part of at least yeah, maybe 200, 190, something like that. I'm not really, it's whatever, 200 k's to do in however many hours I want. New Zealand, I spent a lot of time planning my trip and making sure I don't miss anything. And I think for a small country like New Zealand, it's kind of worth making sure that you don't shoot through somewhere that's really good. But Australia, when you're wanting to go just from point to point, if you're going from Melbourne to Perth, you've just got to keep going west, and there's only really one road. I mean, there's a couple of different routes, but they're so different and they're so far away from each other. You have to do one or the other. But there's no, like in New Zealand, you can go, oh well, if I do this and I can come around and I can get that one back in again, you know. And that's where it's important, so you don't double back on yourself too much and still manage to get everything in. Australia, you either pick the coast road and you cruise along the coast, which is what I'm kind of doing. I'd like to get some dirt in where I can, but not too sandy. And the trouble is, as soon as I go closer to the beach, I go closer to sand, and it's the one thing I don't really like. But maybe, it depends what it's like, maybe a little bit. But I think if I drop it a couple of times, I'll lose interest. And what I'm worried about, which is a danger, is the fact that I've got hard panniers, which is great for security. If my leg gets caught under one of them, it bloody hurts, and that could stop me from riding too well for a couple of days or something, you know, like if I really bruise it or worse break it. And I don't want to end my trip on a broken leg for the sake of trying to rest on a bike through sand. If it was all light and I wasn't carrying much and maybe had a car or not a support vehicle, but do you know what I mean, if I was a lot lighter, if I have a lot less soft luggage and didn't have half as much crap as I do on, then maybe. But I have a lot of shit, so I have to cope with that now. I've made the decision, I've made my bed, and I have to lay in it. But I say this trip, so I've got like 2 months to do the whole thing. I could take a month to get to Perth. Now so far I've taken about 3 days to get to Adelaide from Melbourne, which I think is not by no ways means rushing. I've still seen plenty of things. Some things I've ridden past and gone, you know, you go online and you research these things, and then you're kind of like, but yawn. Sometimes the thing is, they're trying to accommodate for all tourists, and that's fine, but it might not interest you. So sometimes I have these spots, I'm like, oh, I've got to go here, and then I turn up and go, why? This is the same view I've seen 4 times behind, it's just a slightly different variation of the rock. Or, do you know what I mean? Nothing really grabs you like, oh, that's cool. You know, Mount Gambier and the sinkholes, definitely worth the stop to visit. That was quite cool. I was still very quick there. You know, it's quite ocean road things, the 12 apostles and things. I've done it before, but it's well worth going there again and having a look. But you know, there's points you can pull in all the way along there and have a look. And realistically, once you've seen the coastline, if you travel 7 k's down the road and pull over again, it's just a different rock in a different shape. There's not, you know, like there's some key ones, 12 apostles, the arch, you know, things like that. But after a while, it's just the same. Adelaide, 192 k's, not far off. I'm gonna get a nice warm bed tonight. Don't know where, and hopefully it's not fully booked. It's unlikely because of the season, but we'll see how it goes. And yeah, see what's happening. Right, don't wave. I'm a Harley rider, I don't wave to anybody. This is what happens when you get left alone in a helmet for hours on end and nothing to sit on. Well, not nothing to see because it's quite a good view, but nothing to concentrate on really. It's so bumpy, you see everything just shaking. This is tarmac. Anyway, music before I go mad and bore you all. Hello, so to get out of the wind and to have a little bit of a chocolate bar, I pulled over and I used this little wall here as the windbreak, because if I just go through here, oh, it's not as windy as it was when I turned up, but you can see the trees moving. It's relatively windy, so I thought, I'll just come back here. Here we go. yeah, windy and horrible. But just here, it's lovely. I made myself a lemon sip. Still not feeling 100%. And so I pulled over, and you'll see that all my panniers are off because just, you know, having a look and checking things, I noticed this. And I thought, well, that's loose, and I wonder whether that's come undone. But looking at the gap here, which says between, that's in the middle is 5.5, and here is 5. So my wheel's like that in the bike. So panniers off to get it on the centre stand because I just can't lift it without it, and they come off relatively easy. So I'm going to have my finish my drink, and then loosen the axle off and just adjust the chain again, really. Could do it with adjustment anyway. It's not bad, but it could do with a bit one. So that's what I'm doing now. Once I finish this and chain out. Nice and quiet. I'm sat here chatting to Dave, my mate who's in New Zealand. Well, no, he's not in New Zealand, he's in Australia now, but I haven't met him in Australia actually. But he's riding from, no he's not, he's driving from Perth here, so I might be up there. So we were just trying to like try and work it out, because when we both run out of signal, it's probably when we're going to have to meet each other, which is going to be a bit tricky. Of panniers, it really is like tool trade. Number 5 in there, in the middle, and number 5 in there, right in the middle. Now we try to tighten it up. $100 on this, which I haven't got one. It's tight, one of this. F tight. So 5 there. Right there, and that's now solid. Because my rear wheel should be in the middle. Yeah. There's a bit of rabbit. A bit of rabbit. A bit of rabbit something. And over here, this is the fun part of Australia. Over here, give me a minute. I had it when I was talking to Dave. Oh, there it is. There's a bit of a lizard. See his teeth. There's a little lizard. Chompy, chompy, chomp. All the wildlife in Australia seems to be dead, which should give you as a warning, but yeah, can't live life scared all the time, no point. I'm sure the animals die, I won't. Because, look at this guy. No, he's dead as well. Alright, off we go.